Here today in the Horowhenua at Woodhaven Gardens. They employ 250 locals in their operation. Guess what you probably didn't know? It's all illegal. But hey, doesn't look like that other green leafy plant that's illegal, but it's treated the same way. And that's because it's impossible for these guys to get a consent through all the overtop regulation that's been plied upon them. Now you're in a situation where sort of a culmination of regulations is kind of almost making it impossible to carry on farming. Is that a fair summary?
That's a pretty fair summary. I think it's actually sort of worse than that. We're coming on 10 years now where we would have been essentially virtually prohibited from growing vegetables due to regional regulations.
So this broccoli is kind of illegal, much like some other illegal plants.
Yeah, I know that seems a little bit crazy, but we're required to have a resource consent, and currently we can't get one, and it has been like that for a really long period of time. We just want practical, workable regulations that see the right outcome for the environment, but also enable us to produce this wonderful, healthy food that stays here in New Zealand and feeds New Zealand families.
And I mean, one of the big concerns for New Zealanders at the moment is cost of living, but obviously we've got all these regulations and these challenges and limitations being placed on you. That must have a big impact on your ability to actually grow produce at an affordable price for New Zealanders. Is that a fair summary?
100%. Look, every cost that lands with us needs to be passed on somewhere. We're about producing healthy food for Kiwis at a reasonable price, and we need a regulatory framework that makes it practical for us to be able to do that.
We are looking at how we can make this a lot more sustainable going forward in the future, and a lot more targeted as to what communities and catchments actually need, while recognising the need for the grower to actually be able to produce the food New Zealand needs. In the NPS freshwater rules, we're looking to make changes to allow more local decision making on what are the limits that should be applied locally rather than a one-size-fits-all approach from Wellington, but also more importantly with the proposed NES for vegetable growing, making vegetable growing a permitted activity, allowing you to do crop rotation and other things that are essential. Do you feel that these changes we're proposing are the right ones and will enable you to get on with doing business and providing that kai for Kiwis?
Look, they're not just the right ones, they're absolutely essential. Without it, I don't think the industry has a future.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. That's been really brilliant to hear, and I hope we can come up with some decent solutions for vegetable growing in New Zealand. That's why our changes and bringing in a replacement for the Resource Management Act will be absolutely essential in ensuring that we can grow cost-effective food in New Zealand for New Zealanders.